While Congress is on recess, the Obama administration is taking its battle to health care reform, or for health care reform, to the voters. We go right now to the White House, where Bloomberg's Hans Nichols has more. So, Hans, how is the White House communicating with voters?
Oh, last night, Nancy Ann DeParle, normally a behind-the-scenes player, she was the one that negotiated the $80 billion and with the pharmaceutical countries. She was out front and center. She held a streaming web chat on Facebook. Now, this marked, there's nothing really new that she said, but deploying her on the internet like that marked an escalation from the White House and bringing the health czar and communicating directly with the American people. Look, they're trying to replicate the success they had with the campaign, and this is just one part of that.
I was just going to say, Hans, it looks like Denver, Colorado, but I mean, how optimistic is the White House that this strategy will work?
Well, they don't have a whole lot of reason to be, because earlier this month, when they started holding house parties through the Obama's campaign arm, Organization for America, participants walked away a little disappointed. They said it's a lot harder to marshal support for a health care plan than it is to get people to vote for a single election. So they're finding that campaigning was a lot easier than legislating. They still want to reach members of Congress, though, and that's why they're going around this through the back door. They're also talking to governors, have governors press their case to members of Congress. All the action is still in the Congress right now, though.
And Hans, I mean, is there any movement from members of Congress as they're back in their home districts this week?
Well, last night there was a little bit with Olympia Snowe, senator from Maine. Now, she's a moderate Republican. She's the only Republican on the Finance Committee that hasn't ruled out the so-called public option for a government plan. And she indicated to local reporters that they could have some sort of public option to bridge the gap and have some sort of stopgap on the way towards a unified health care overhaul. So that's good news for the White House.
Hans, thanks as always. Hans Nichols there at the White House.